Hey, Manny Talavera here. I thought I would shoot a quick video and I would talk about fear and procrastination for just a few minutes and kind of give you all some ideas on how to move forward if you're struggling with fear or procrastination. Now, the first thing I want to basically address is fear and procrastination are completely different. The two have really nothing to do with each other. Procrastination is putting off something because you don't want to do it. And there are a lot of people who put things off because they don't want to do them. And so my advice to you, the first thing that you want to do is determine whether it's real procrastination or it's real fear. When you have fear, you have something that you want to do, but you're scared to move to the next step in doing it. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But first I want to talk about procrastination just for a few minutes here. First of all, in dealing with fear and procrastination, what I have found is that people generally burn more energy not doing something than actually doing it. So you burn more energy thinking about the thing that you should be doing that you're not doing than you would actually burn if you were actually doing it. And so what I have found is when I create content or create packaged product or digital content, the hardest part is actually getting started. And I burn more energy in getting started than I actually burn on actually doing it. So what you're going to find is if you move past fear and procrastination, that you'll find that there are no monsters on the other side of that. The fear that you're feeling is unfounded, and you're going to find that nothing happens when you move forward. But as far as procrastination, again, what you have to decide is this something that you really want to do, or is it something that you don't really want to do? And my advice to you is if you're just procrastinating because you don't want to do it, the easiest way to eliminate that procrastination is just take it off your list. You don't have to move forward in that way. You can find another way to move forward is if that thing there isn't resonating with you. And if you're just feeling that resistance and don't feel like doing it, you probably shouldn't be. But I can tell you, like, I have no procrastination whatsoever toward moving forward in my business. I have fears, and those are completely different things. But if you're dealing with procrastination, my advice to you is either face it and move through it, or just take it off your list. And that's something you're going to need to decide what you're going how you're going to deal with that. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is fear. And fear happens when moving outside of your comfort zone is more painful than staying where you're at. So you have this thing over here that you want to do, but there's a lot of pain associated with moving outside your comfort zone, so you stay still. So there can be fear around creating video content. There can be fear around doing a live webinar. There can be fear around doing a live Facebook video. There can be fear around picking the phone up and calling people and offering your services. So you've got a lot of different things that will prevent you from moving forward. Now the trick to it is very, very simple. I'm going to tell you the trick to it, and a lot of you are going to think it's so simple that you won't move forward. The trick to it is you've got to create a situation where the pain of staying where you're at is bigger than the pain of moving into the unknown. And so what you have to create is you have to create some major accountability into what it is that you want to do if you're not doing it yourself. And that accountability has to include pain. And so I'll give you an example. Let's say that you want to write a book, and your book is going to be 10 chapters. And the goal is to write 1 chapter a week, but you're not writing at all. So what you need to do is you need to decide what would cause you a lot of pain. Now let's say it's losing $250 or losing $500. You need to write a check for $250 or $500 or $1,000 or whatever that amount would be to a group that you completely despise, like a group supporting abortion, a group supporting the Nazi movement, whatever it is that you're completely diametric opposed to. You're going to take that check and you're going to call your best friend and you're going to say, I want you to come by and get this check and I want you to hold on to it. And every week I have to send you a chapter of the book. And if one week I miss a chapter, I want you to mail this check to this group of people that I despise. And what will happen, the pain of actually not writing the chapter will cause you to write the chapter because you don't want to lose that money and you certainly don't want to support this group that you don't want to support. So I'm going to go through this again with you. Pick a number that you're uncomfortable losing and pick a group that you would never support. Have someone hold the check and then say, by this day I'm doing this action, and if I don't do this action you get to mail the check. So each week you have an accountability partner forcing you to make a chapter in the book. And so let's say you want to do a Facebook Live, or you want to create a video like this, or you want to do, let's say you want to do a webinar, right? Well, there's some tricks to that. In addition to getting some firm accountability, what you can also do is do it without anyone seeing you. Most of you all are scared of failing publicly, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So you want to do the webinar, or you want to do the live stream. Well, here's an idea. Do a webinar with no people watching it. You can also do a live stream without anyone ever seeing it. What you do is you go to Facebook, create yourself a private Facebook group, and invite one friend to it. Now you've got this private Facebook group. You fix it to where no one can see it. It's going to be not only private, but secret. That's the key here. You can create a secret Facebook group that no one can see unless you send them the link or unless you invite them into the group. Now you've got this private Facebook group that no one can even see. You get up, you decide you're going to do one live stream a day, and the first day, do yourself a 1-minute live stream. Hi, my name is Manny Talavera. I'm a professional marketing and mindset coach. I help people turn small businesses into big businesses. Create yourself a simple video just like that. And do it live, and do it live to no one. Do that 5 days in a row. And then what you can do is either A, you can go live on your own page, or B, what's even better, you can just start adding a few people to that group until you're really ready to go live. Most of you all have this fear that you won't look good on camera or you won't sound good on camera and all of those things. Well, look at me. I tell you why I wear the hat. I wear the hat very simply because my hair is either too short or too long. And to get around that, I wear a hat. And I wear the sunglasses because my eyes I have issues with my vision, and the lights really mess with my eyes. And everyone will say, you can't wear a hat and you can't wear sunglasses. Well, you make the rules. You can do anything you want. So I'm going to actually recap here, and we're going to talk about this for a few more minutes. There are two things that you have. You have fear and procrastination, and the two have nothing to do with each other. When you're procrastinating, you're putting off something that you really don't want to do. And the easiest way to get rid of procrastination is either do the thing or just take it off your list and forget about it. Fear comes from fear of the unknown, the fear of moving forward, the fear of what other people will think, the pain of actually moving outside your comfort zone. And the way you eliminate that is you create a pain that's going to be worse if you sit still. So you have to create that for yourself. Now the other thing that you can do is you can hire yourself a coach who's also an accountability partner. And I help people with that all the time. If that's something you're interested in, reach out and I'll be glad to see if I can't figure out a way to work with you and help you move forward. But like I said, you create yourself a structure where the pain of staying still is worse than the pain of moving forward. The other thing is that what you're going to be practicing is a muscle that as you do it more often, it gets easier. And what you find is that there is no monster on the other end of fear. There's no major problem on the other end, and most of the fear is actually in moving forward and getting started. Now, a lot of you have fear of the unknown, fear of people, fear of failing publicly, fear of criticism, and I'm going to walk you through a couple of those. First of all, the fear of failing publicly. Like you want to have a launch, but you're scared you'll have a launch and no one will buy. Let me tell y'all something. You're going to have a launch and people might not buy. It doesn't really matter though. No one is paying attention. It doesn't matter if you have a launch and no one buys, because you know what you can do? You can take all the data you got from that and you can have yourself another launch. And the second time you have a launch, you might sell 2, you might sell 4, you might sell 20. The other thing is you might not sell anything again. The great thing about this game is that you get to keep playing. You get unlimited strikes. You get to keep swinging until you hit a home run. And so what's great about it is when you do get feedback, and I'll be honest with you, failing is nothing more than feedback. You get to change the ad copy, change the videos, change the message, change the offer. You get to go back to the drawing board and fix what was broke. And it's easy to figure out what's broke by analyzing everything that happened. And so what you're going to find by stepping outside that comfort zone, that there's nothing on the other side of it that is so fearful. And the more often you do that, the more often you flex that muscle, the better you will be at it, and you'll do very, very well with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end out of this. I hope you all got some value from this. The bottom line is you need to, at some point, decide that it's unacceptable to stay where you're at. And you can either do that by getting yourself an accountability partner or creating one of these pain points that will force you to move forward, or you can scrap what you're wanting to do and find something that you're not so scared to move forward on. But I hope you got some value from this, and thanks for watching.